Hi, my name's Ann Dooley. I'm so glad that you're here to learn more about the Dooley Method. I've been a home organizer and a parenting instructor for many years, and this is truly a labor of love, combining the two areas that I'm passionate about into one resource to help your family learn how to not only organize your home, but to teach your children how to do it with you through connection-based parenting so that you're empowering your children and yourself in this process to become more confident, learn to show respect for each other, trusting each other, so that when you see a pile of clutter, you're not just getting frustrated and thinking, oh my God, I have to do this by myself or my kids will never help. I really felt like this was the missing piece, that so many resources out there teach you how to organize and so many parenting books and courses, but nothing has bridged the two together. That's what I've been trying to do, putting together this book in the last few years. And so I'm really excited. I want to get into it and share my screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. So why the Dooley Method? It's to teach you step by step to rebuild connections and restore order to your home, not just the physical space, but also your mental space. Here's a little introduction. I really do want you to let out that sigh of relief. Take time to reset your mind and learn these skills. And I know that when you trust the process and believe in yourself, you will get there too. This is a little bit about how I grew up in a messy home, and my parents, they were practicing tough love. So I didn't feel that I really had a chance to get to know who I am or had a voice. And by the time I became a parent myself, I was using similar parenting approach as my parents, which was a lot of yelling and punishment. Basically, I reached a breaking point when my son said I was the worst mom ever, because I was yelling a lot and I was struggling as a mom. I've since done a lot of work through connection, and now my boys and I, we are so close, and it's been so wonderful. And that is what motivates me to do this work, because I believe that every family deserves to have that kind of relationship where no one is operating from a place of fear or needing control. And then this next slide is about all my life experiences. Growing up in a cluttered home, I think organizing was a way that I was able to cope with the kind of chaotic environment that I grew up with, and develop this people-pleasing tendency and that need for approval and doing things out of fear of getting into trouble. And it's important for me to address those things and break that cycle. Here, very quickly, it goes through my first job with the Hello Kitty store. I went to design school and I was an art director at the Walt Disney Studios. And what's been consistent is a lot of my work involved working with kids, supporting moms, and then my training in the KonMari method was the beginning of shifting to home organizing as a profession and working with families and realizing some parents were getting upset and frustrated with their kids who aren't keeping up with the maintenance, or the kids didn't have the skills to do it. And it created more tension with the families. So that was when I recognized, oh, I need to bring my skills in parenting coach into the equation. And that's how the Dooley Method came about. I want to emphasize that we are in this together, not only you and me if you decide to take on this journey, but keep that in mind, that when you're working with your family, with your kid, that you're also in it together. So the way that I've structured this course is we'll be addressing challenges, we'll be applying new tools, and we'll also be overcoming obstacles that you've had. And I put an email address on there because I want you to know that I love being the cheerleader for my clients. And I don't want you to feel like, oh, here's the book and I have to learn all this stuff. And then you come across maybe a challenge that you can't overcome and then, forget it. Why do I even bother trying? I don't want you to have that fear in you on this journey, because you don't have to carry this weight alone. I'm here with you, and things will always come up with our family, sick child, work gets busy. Like, things will come up that will interrupt your flow, your rhythm. I have clients that will message me and just share what they're going through, and I can help point you in the right direction. So everyone learns differently. If you're learning this on your own, just using the book, and that works for you, great. If you need more one-on-one support from me, that's what I'm here for. So here are some quotes from families that I've worked with. I try to share a range here of different number of kids and different age range. I can finally breathe again. My son has been keeping his space clean by himself. He's even asked me to help him organize so his space can stay nice. My youngest has been kissing goodbye toys he no longer play with. This wasn't possible before. Thank you. There's another client that says, I can't thank you enough. This has been a life-changing improvement. We've learned such valuable lessons on how to think twice about what we bring in and how to let go. So this client's kids are age 2, 5, and 7, and the 7-year-old can do a lot. And the 5-year-old is learning from the 7-year-old and from the parents. And the 2-year-old will be growing up in a family that has learned these skills or practicing these skills. So for the 2-year-old, it becomes the norm. And that's what we want, is for the whole family to feel like they can all contribute and everyone is supporting each other and feeling confident. What will you gain from practicing the Dooley method? More time and more energy, more happiness, more connection, more comfort, more healthy boundaries, more mental clarity. Like, all of these things will begin to happen when you keep an open mind, so you can take in the new information and put them to use. And what you will love about this method is we're really trying to shift the family dynamic. We want to give everyone an opportunity to take on the leadership role, because little kids have great ideas, and when they feel the home environment, their relationship is secure and their home feels safe, then they will step up and they will want to take charge and lead. And when that they're respected and they're trusted, that family dynamic, the stress, the tension will go away. I'll teach you how to approach with care. CARE stands for connect, acknowledge, resolve, and empower. And so we'll go into what that is and how to talk to your kids so that when we run into a problem, we can solve it in a way that there are no losers. We want to build their confidence. So a lot of what you'll see in the book is about the win-win mindset. We want to nurture the positive values. You want your kids to build character traits, that they're honest and responsible and generous. We want to do that through connection. We want to do it in a way that is calm for both the parent and the child, in a way that's collaborative and creative. And it can be really fun when you let down your guards, and so you and your child are not just fighting each other, but instead you're working together. We want to develop internal motivation, and the SHINE formula is so that your child or yourself to feel seen, heard, independent, nurtured, and empowered. So lots of empowerment, lots of connection in this process. So what you won't find in the Dooley method are the dependency on chore charts or rewards, because that's all external. And that can work, they definitely work, but only short term. So we want to develop that long-term internal motivation. You're not going to second guess, because the things that I'm teaching you have been tested. I've used it on all my clients and have seen results. And whether it's for organizing or for parenting, I'm not giving you rigid cookie cutter solutions because I will cover a lot of different key points and offer you examples from how to say it to how to put something away. You're definitely not going to do any bribing or threats. That works short term, but you end up getting into other problems. So I address all those things. I will tell you why it doesn't work short term and why it works long term. Okay, so at the end of every chapter, you'll come across a quote. This one says, "Every family deserves a comfortable home to grow and thrive together." I'm committed to helping you create that for your family. And I truly mean that. And that's why I put my email address where you contact me. And that's why I'm going to go into this next section with the frequently asked questions, because you probably have purchased another course that do these kind of like presentations that in the end offers you a chance to buy the product. And I've been in that position where I'm so tempted to buy it, but then I'm not really sure, is this going to work for my family? So I want to answer some of those questions, and I'll actually show you exactly what lessons you'll learn. What makes the Dooley Method unique and effective? This is something that it took me a while to figure out, like, well, I was trained using the KonMari method, and one of the key features of the method is breaking things down by categories so you're not decluttering the whole room. I find that to be a very effective way to do it. But someone can learn an effective way to do something, but then what if they don't have the motivation to do it? It's like, I really want to, but I'm exhausted from taking care of my kids, and I just want to get this done, so I'm using these short-term tactics to get things done. Or when it comes to the skill set, like maybe the parent is practicing connection-based parenting, but don't have the skill set to do the organizing, decluttering part of it. So I said the Dooley Method approach is one united family. It's not that only the parent is learning how to do this and then continues to clean up the home by themselves. This is about setting a goal for the family and working towards that together. The two-way support. We take care of the home so that our home can take care of our needs. There's something that I share with my clients. I said, when you look around your home and you haven't begun your decluttering work, feel appreciative of your home being very patient with you. Because for however long that you had this clutter, your home has been there. Just continue to take in whatever you bring into the home. So your home wants to take care of you. And when you're ready to meet your home halfway and put something where it belongs, then that's taking care of you because it's saving you time and energy so you don't have to look for it. It's keeping your things safe, right? So we want to get into that mindset. And lastly, the 3 pillars. That's what these three things are: the motivation, the method, the skill set. You really need all 3 of these parts working together. The motivation is shifting from external to internal motivation. The skill set is how to declutter, how to release things from your home that you no longer need, how to organize the things that are in your home, and how to accumulate. Like, how do you even shop after you've done all this work? How do you keep your home from becoming full of things you don't need or want again? And then the method that you'll learn is the connection-based parenting and KonMari inspired organizing. It's not exclusive to just KonMari method because I incorporate just what works, and there may be some methods in there that are not part of the KonMari method. They're just things that I've picked up from my personal experience, and because I learn a lot from working with clients, but everything that I share with you are very effective. Sometimes people ask me this, that as an organizer and parenting coach, is your home perfect and are your kids cooperative? That's a misconception that like on Instagram and everything's perfect and we have kids that just does everything around the house. I would say that my home and my relationship with my kids makes it easier. We can do it together. We can do it without any conflicts. And my kids are continue to learn these skills and they are developing more confidence in themselves along the way. I know that there are days when I'm like, I'm just so tired. I just worked 4 or 5 hours with a client in their home and I don't want to fold any more laundry. So I prioritize my self-care and rest, knowing that I have the skills to do it when I'm ready to do it, knowing that my family can step in and fill the void for each other. There's been times in my parenting, let's say I'm very stressed out about something and maybe become less patient with my kids. I don't yell at them, but if I'm like not in the right headspace, I focus on reflecting on my behavior. I always repair and reconnect so that our relationship is always moving towards a place where we feel good at being around each other. And like at the bottom here, I mentioned, we want to embrace good enough. It's letting go of that perfectionist mindset. So this is what a worksheet you might see throughout the book. What does good enough look like? You can print this out yourself. You don't even have to use this page. You can just write it on a piece of paper if you want, type it up, however you want to express yourself. But it's important to really think about what that good enough is for you. Like the example here is maybe my kitchen sink doesn't have any dirty dishes, but it's okay for me to leave a couple things on the counter. Or if the kids' room is a mess, I'm okay with only clean up on the weekend. So this is going to look different for every person who decides to do this exercise because every family's different, your kids' age, temperament. And so it's important to just know where you are and know what's important to your family, like what's flexible and what is not. So how long will it take to get organized and for my family to help? People get curious about that, but it's hard to say because the size of your home, size of your family, age of your children, the responsibility you have, maybe you're taking care of your parents or your work schedule, what your experience was with organizing, both in childhood and as an adult. Because maybe in your childhood you were punished or things were thrown out if you didn't put them away. Maybe it's your partner, maybe it's the way your closet is built. Like even those things impact how you organize. But I put in here, these are not obstacles. These are parameters that you work with where you are now, today. And I put down here, you can definitely get things done faster if you reach out to your friends or family or a professional like me for the extra support to get you there quicker. Here's another question that I get asked often. Once my family learns the Dooley method, will it last? It won't last when you're doing things that break that consistency. Right here I mentioned 4 things. Double standards. If you expect your kids to keep its space clean, but you don't, when you're not modeling that, then it's not going to last. The inconsistency. Let's say you say, we're not going to shop for anything, and then you go and you buy something. So that kind of behavior not matching the things you say becomes very confusing for the kids when they feel like it's unfair. Unexpected responsibilities. Let's say your parents need extra care because of their health, or you change jobs, or something that disrupts the flow. Let's say you've been making progress, organizing and decluttering, and then suddenly something happened that you have to put a pause. And then the last one here is expecting perfection. When you're thinking like, they always leave everything out, or the kids never listen to me. Having that sort of black and white thinking, that's actually a stress response when we think of things in always, never, or you're good or bad, like that comes from stress when we cannot see the gray area and being flexible. So when you have setbacks, because it's gonna happen, it's to not think, that's it, I've tried it and this doesn't work. It's to give yourself grace, continue to work on connection, because you're a team with your family, and that way you can help each other get back on track. So, how often is reorganizing necessary? I put this in here because a lot of people say, oh, it's spring cleaning, or every year or every few months, I reorganize or declutter. I used to do that actually, and thought that I was really good at organizing because I was constantly doing it. And what I've realized that when you have a good system and when you have taught your children how to do it, and the family can also help, it's really just maintaining the space once you do it, because you're learning how to decide what goes in your home, find homes for the things you own so you can properly put them back. You're also learning how to shop, so you're limiting bringing home things that will become clutter, like party favors and impulse buy. So when you learn all these skills and you change your habit, then you don't have to reorganize. You're just maintaining the system that you've put in place. The times when you might need to reorganize is if you're welcoming a new family member, or the season changing, maybe you've got some new hobbies, or maybe you're switching jobs, different career paths. Those are the times that you may need to reorganize. Once you go through the lessons, if any of these things happen, then you would have the skills to do it. Okay, so here's another worksheet. What are your fears about this process? And by identifying what those fears are, you take away their power. And you can ask yourself, and this, I ask myself this all the time, is it just a thought or a fact? Because a lot of times it is our fight, flight response. It's just a thought. This fear is telling you, okay, this is something that I need to work on. A lot of parents just feel, this is easier if I just get it done myself. But we approach this in a way to include the kids in the process, and it becomes an opportunity for connection. Our goal here is teaching them to be responsible for themselves. Okay, how to declutter while caring for young children. I have many clients that still have babies. You're always holding them, or they are kids who still need a lot of your attention, and ended up doing the cleanup after they've gone to sleep or when they go to school. But they don't get to see the process, which means they missed out on the opportunity to learn how to do this work. And so, as much as possible, think of them as helpers. They're shadowing you. They're sitting by you while you're doing something. If you're folding, maybe you have them match the socks, and that becomes an activity with your kids. Or maybe they're watching you and you do it one step at a time. You fold it, just one fold at a time, so they can mimic you. Because children do love to do what we do. It makes them feel so proud when they complete something that they see as only a task for adults. Having them match socks next to you, having them take something to a donation box. When you're including them, yes, maybe it's done a little bit slower, but you're giving them exposure on what goes on when things get cleaned up. And the more they can see you do it, and the more you include them in that process, every little bit counts, right? There's no magic fairy that comes and cleans up your home anymore, because it is hard work and they need to see that. But once everyone learns, then it becomes easier for everyone. Okay, can the Dooley method work for neurodivergent or differently abled children? Yes, because at the core of this method, it's all built on respect and trust and helping, supporting each other. But focus on your belonging first, or your bedroom, and then you always have a place to recharge for yourself. And once you've done that, let's say it's your bedroom, it becomes a showroom also for your kids to see, wow, outside in the living room, dining room might be really messy, but this room feels different. It feels nice in here. I feel calm in here. So once you've had the practice yourself and you have your own place to recharge, it'll make it easier for you to support your child in whatever types of needs they have. All right, so here is the end of this section. Here's another note. Make this your family's favorite phrase. We're such a great team for taking care of our home together. So I say this a lot because it reinforces that message that they're not doing this alone, and it tells you that you're not doing this alone either. You can always ask for help. You can always count on help. And this statement also reinforces that sense of belonging, right? And because when someone's asking for help, they feel seen and heard. So making this your family's favorite phrase will support all the work that we're doing. All right, so this book is divided into 2 sections. And the first section, the title pages are in this kind of blue color, is about parenting and shifting your parenting mindset. It's all about fostering cooperation and cultivating that internal motivation. And the lessons are all designed to strengthen your connection. And then the second part is more practical organizational actions that you can take. Finding the right homes for your belongings, being a gatekeeper to what enters your home, and how to organize your home so it aligns with your family's needs and values. Okay, I'm excited to show you this next thing. This is the Dooley Method journey. It's like a game board, but you're going up and down this thing and lead you to here what it says. Feeling relief, order, and connection. So you can see that this part is connection-based parenting mindset shift. It doesn't mean that in this second half, there are no parenting advice. They're just not as prominent. Then this gives you a preview of how the guidebook is designed. For example, right here, every chapter, there is a title page, a little bit of an intro paragraph, and then there are the lessons. At the intro page, on the bottom, there's a little play button. I include these intro videos. I feel like it's always easier when you can get a preview of the things that you will learn. So once you click on that, it'll take you to a video where I talk about all those lessons, kind of give you a quick walkthrough. I'm going to scroll through this quickly just to show you what you will see in this book. For example, here's a page. Here's 8 steps to reduce surface clutter. So in the first section, you'll actually go through things that you can do right now to give you some relief. Here's a worksheet. Here's an example of the call outs. This is really exciting. I have these for younger kids, little printables. And if you click on this download the complete printables, it's going to take you to my website where you can download all of these. And every section has a summary and then also a page that asks you what your takeaway is from this section. I've also included little things like maybe when kids ask you, like, why are we even doing this, right? Why do we need to fold clothes? And you can tell them our clothes need homes too, so they can be ready when you go out next time for your adventure. I have photos of how to fold clothes, but in these links on the bottom also takes you to a video if it's easier for you to learn it that way. That's the Dooley Method. I've used this with so many families and seen their progress. I know that it'll work for you too, and I'm here for you. I hope that we will get a chance to work together, that I'll have the honor of being on the journey with your family. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any question, feel free to reach out. I'm very excited for your family if you choose to start this process with me. So thank you.